Thy will not mine, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. The wind blows where it wills, you can hear its sound, but you never know where it has come from or where it goes. It is the same with everyone who is born of the Spirit. John 3:8. Recently I took a look at some books on truth. I wanted to see what the writers had to say. Every one of them tried to explain the truth and each had a different idea. One said that his purpose was to reach God. All the time he was really going away from God into a maze of ideas which he formulated in his own mind. So in the end he tried to explain what God was from his own experiences. After all, most of us are seeking a way of life, a way of conduct. So we either look to others, to the past, or we try to find a mode of behavior through our own experiences. But are not our experiences conditioned by the past? Therefore our pattern is conditioned by the past. No matter how great our experiences are, they are conditioned by the past, and any new experiences must only strengthen the past. If we look to another or to the past, are we not forcing the extraordinary vitality of life into a mold, a particular shape, and thereby lose the richness of life itself? So we must find out clearly what we mean by a purpose. If my purpose is to reach God, I must know God, I must have the measure and depth of God, but this is impossible. If my mind is caught up in my experiences of the past or what I have heard from others, can I find reality by this means? Can I know what reality is when all I have is an idea, a belief, an experience, a memory which I call reality? I think not. Reality is unknown. How can the mind that is caught up find reality? If my mind is clouded and burdened with the known, it can only measure according to its conditioning, its own limitation, and therefore can never know the unknown. I can never reach the unknown if my mind is conditioned through an idea of what reality is. My reality will still conform to my idea. But reality does not conform to any idea or belief. If I free my mind from the past, from ideas and beliefs and desires that condition it, through discerning clearly that the purpose I had was measured according to the dictates of my conditioning, then discernment will lead to freedom, and in freedom alone is reality. To find out the purpose of life, the mind must be free of measurement, otherwise you can only project your own want. Your desire creates the purpose, but that is not the purpose of life. Then it is obvious that the first thing to do is to free the mind from its own conditioning. That very freedom itself is the purpose, because it is only in freedom that one can discover the truth of anything. So the first requisite is freedom and not seeking a purpose of life. But freedom only comes when we can discern what we have made up in our minds, our ideas, our beliefs, our experiences, our memories of the past, our antagonisms, our hates, our jealousies, our greeds, our craving, and all the complications we create through our reaction to people and things. If life is surrounded by all these, then we will be giving expression to them and not to reality. But when we have discerned that which is preventing the expression of reality, we will free ourselves. Then life's creativeness, its own self-expression, love and wisdom will be our experience. Therefore it is of no value to inquire into the purpose of life if we are not capable of understanding ourselves. Only in my relationship with others will I understand my relationship to others, to ideas, to things. How can I go further if I do not understand this? I must understand life around me and in me, otherwise my search becomes merely an escape from everyday action. As most of us do not understand our everyday actions and reactions, life becomes a drudgery, pain, suffering, anxiety, and we pray to God for an escape from it. So what we really want is a drug to put us to sleep so that we do not feel the aches and pains of life. We have an ideal, a pattern which we want to follow. Surely that is only conformity. The mind seeks to be secure in order not to be disturbed. Such a mind is dead. Awareness is life. Real happiness comes with understanding. If I have a true understanding of my relationship with others and with things, out of that understanding comes joy. Then life itself is a joy, a richness, and with that richness one can go further. But without that foundation you cannot build. Happiness comes easily when there is no friction either in us or about us, and friction ceases only when there is understanding of things in their proper place and of their right values. To know this you must find out the working of your own mind first. For if you do not know your own mind, how can you discover the right value of anything? With this understanding there is confidence. It is the lack of confidence that causes confusion. The more imitative we are, the less confidence we have, for we have made life into a copybook. From early childhood we have been told what to do. We follow a tradition, a way of life laid down for us to imitate. Only when you have seen the stupidity of this can you have the confidence to find out for yourself. Then you will gain that extraordinary inward certainty to know what is truth and what is not. This confidence comes not from knowing what others say, but from knowing your own thoughts and feelings and what is happening in yourself and around you. When we know our own thoughts, feelings, experiences, memories, their truth, their falsehood, their significance, their absurdity, then we can clear up the whole field of confusion which is ourselves. With the end of this confusion comes confidence and freedom, and in this freedom is reality itself. It is no longer an idea or a formulation of the mind, but the truth itself, freed from all illusions. Is it not because we are confused that we want a leader? But can there ever be right leadership? What we should be doing is to help each other to understand the confusion that exists in the mind-heart. With this understanding comes freedom and truth. It is only when we do not want to understand confusion that we run away from it, and turn to a leader or someone even more confused than ourselves to lead us. If we are trying to find an answer, then we will be caught up in the confusion. Only when we can look at that confusion without trying to find a way out of it can we understand how to clear it up. Then we will be as free as the air. We will love. We will not follow, we will not need any leaders. Then will come a society that will lead to permanent peace, through love and understanding. Let us look at the world today. People are not seeking the truth, they are only trying to find a way out of their difficulties, and that is the misery of it all. We want leaders to direct us, to pull us along, to force us, to make us conform, which inevitably leads to destruction and greater suffering. We refuse to see the cause of suffering which is happening before our eyes. So we want a right leader to put us right. Is this not the height of immaturity? For there is no such thing as a right leader. Does not leadership denote a deterioration of society? A leader in society is a destructive element. The world is on the verge of a catastrophe and is rapidly disintegrating, and merely to find another leader, a new president, a new Churchill or a new Stalin, a different God and so on, is utterly useless, because, being confused, we can only choose according to the conditioning of our own minds, which are confused. What we have to do is to clear out our own confusion through understanding it, so that confusion may be set aside. When we understand ourselves, then we will begin to see clearly. Without self-knowledge we will be eternally caught up in confusion. Therefore it is most important at this time that the individual begins with him herself, and the moment we understand confusion we will be free from it. Therefore it is not an escape from confusion we need, but the understanding of the cause of confusion, which is ourselves. John 15:5-10, I am the vine, you are the branches. He who remains in me, as I in him, bears rich fruit, because apart from me you can do nothing. If you keep my commands, you will remain within my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain within his love. Benediction. O Eternal One, thou alone art life ever present everywhere, ever expressing thyself in all thy creation. O Mighty One, I searched in vain in the highways and the byways and could not find thee until I dissolved my own creations. Then, O Benign One, I felt thy presence and knew thy love and wisdom was also mine. Now I know the meaning of the words, a branch cannot bear fruit unless it abides on the vine, O Divine One. My peace and my love remain with you. Yours very sincerely, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne.